Hello everyone, this is Tyler with Finding Freedom. Welcome to today's video. Thank you guys so much for being here. I'm excited about today's video because it's something that somebody personally asked me to talk about. What I'm talking about, this is going to be dealing with finances. It's basically investing into foreclosures. They were wondering exactly where you need to look to find them, and I know exactly where to after doing some research, and I have some great tips to give you guys as well on what you can do to make sure that you're doing it right. So let's get started today. Okay, so like I said, you guys, what I wanted to help out with today is foreclosures. I had a friend that was wanting to know exactly where he could look to find them, so I decided to dive in real deep, figure out where to look, as well as give you guys some great tips on what you can do along with it to help you out. I'm also going to give you an awesome website to go to, one that I used for quite a bit of this research. That way you can get in there yourself. It offers a ton of free stuff. That way anybody can get into investing, and it's not just in real estate, but I'll talk about that a little bit later in this video. For those of you that are new, make sure to get subscribed down there. I come out with daily content that's very valuable to help you guys every day with online marketing, finances, or just getting motivated and pumped for the week. So I'd love to have you and keep you around. So in regards with real estate, one quote that really comes to mind that I love so much, I heard it not that long ago, and it stuck with me the whole way through learning this. It comes from Henry Ford. It's whether you think you can or you can't, either way you are right. So basically what it's saying is, with this and with any type of business, it's all about the mentality. So if you're a real negative person, you're going to see negative results. If you're a real positive person, you're always going to be seeing the new opportunity out there, and most of the time you're going to be making the big bucks. So I want you guys to make sure that you're going into this with a good mindset, because real estate honestly can be one of the hardest things to get invested into, but that's only if you don't have the right knowledge to it. There are tons of people out there that are doing amazing with real estate, and that's because they are financially smart about it. They know exactly what they're talking about. And so I really want you guys not just to go into a few videos and think that you're a marketing genius with real estate and that you can go out there and take over the world. I want you to keep on learning about it. Don't just learn for a year, 2 years, 3 years. Keep on learning as you're going, because things are always going to be changing in real estate. I know that real estate is one of the biggest things that you can learn about. It's one of the best tax beneficial programs that I've started to learn about so far, between doing online marketing, becoming your own investor, stock, bonds, mutual funds, and like I said, real estate. I mean, you get the best tax breaks with it. So that's one reason why so many people get into it. They just don't know where to look for it. So with this, what I would say first is that foreclosures are real great. From everything that I've been learning throughout researching this, I've learned that you honestly want to try to find the property before foreclosure. Now, foreclosure is honestly going to be one of the easiest ways for you to get through, from what I've been learning, but you want to try to look for other indicators to tell you what's gonna that property's going into foreclosure. That way you can get it before them, because honestly it makes the process a lot easier from what I've seen. What you want to look for is, you want to look for distressed sellers. You want to look for people who are going through divorces, people who have experienced a death and they've gotten that property through inheritance. You want to look for people who are going into great debt. Now, I know that these aren't the best things to be looking for, but those are going to be the people that you really get the best deal with. Now, like I said, this is indicators to look for before foreclosure. That way you're not getting tied up with any of the heavy documentation that comes along with it. So these are ways for you guys to just walk around your neighborhood, look for those indicators. I mean, I know that you know friends, family members who sit there and gossip about their friends or people that they know who are going through those three things. That way you can go out there and be an awesome real estate investor and find the deals before they get out to the public, because that's how you're going to get the best deal out of it, is because it's not going to hit the public. The bank isn't going to be already telling that person exactly what they need. You can go up there, ask them how much they owe on it, and you can get an amazing deal on it, rather than them going to the bank and they're like, oh, well, I need that much, plus I'm going to need some, that way I can go out and move somewhere else. And that's another thing that I want to hit on with this. If you guys want to be awesome real estate investors, you got to learn how to solve the problem. And it goes in with any type of business, but this is great for real estate. Robert Kiyosaki touched on this, and he talks about how he does real estate investing is he usually tries to help the person along the way, either by paying off all their debt and giving them a little so that they can move on, or if you have like another property that you can just trade up for it, then usually you can get some huge tax deductions along with that. Say you had a smaller property, they had a bigger one, they just can't afford it, you trade up, that way you can take over that property. I'm not going to get into all the details, but that's also a great way that he explains how to use tax deductions to your benefit. Now, getting to the juicy part, because I know that this is what everybody's wanting, how to find those foreclosure homes, because that's what people are really wanting to get into. They're really easy to find, that way you're not having to do a ton of research. I would just say make sure to actually go and do a little bit more research than just finding it. That way you can know as much of the details as possible, because some of these can be tied up in some pretty crazy ways. But to start off, of course, you can go in like the newspaper. You can go in the newspaper, and in the section there, it has a foreclosure section. You can go in there and it'll have it all in there. If you go on to your newspaper online and go in the classified section, I guarantee you it has a foreclosure section. I know that if you go to a lot of large banks, if you call large banks, they also have a bank-owned properties that they have to give a list out to people. So you can go onto their website, and they should have a spot on their website that tells you what properties that they own and what properties they're actually offering out to the public, because this is something that the government makes them do, and they've upgraded it since in the past, because I know I've been seeing in a lot of places where people are having a lot of trouble with the length of time that's been taking, but these banks have been they've come up with laws to make sure that the banks get back to you in a certain amount of time. So make sure to be looking up on all the laws. That way you know exactly how long those banks have. That way they're not trying to prolong the process, and you can make sure to get in there and get out as you need. You can also go to the small banks as well. Now, with the small banks, you definitely want to be asking for bank-owned property. Don't ask for foreclosures, because I've heard that a lot of the small banks, they don't exactly know about a foreclosure section. But if you ask like the person answering the phone, the bank-owned properties, they'll usually either get your email and they'll send you out a list every once in a while, or heck, if you guys even go on to Google or Bing, you can go on to Google or Bing and just type in banks with foreclosure listings. If you type that into Google or Bing, it'll pull up all the banks around you that have foreclosure listings, whether it be in your city or state or just the big banks around you. And these will show you the different houses that are actually up for foreclosure that you can buy into, and you can get them at a pretty good deal. And that's the main reason why people want these homes, because it's basically the bank's last attempt to get that loan money, because the person who originally took the mortgage out with that home just doesn't have the funds. Something happened, so that house has went into foreclosure. I hope this video has helped out a ton for you guys. If it has, make sure to hit that like that like button. I would really appreciate it. Make sure to get subscribed if you're not already subscribed, and in the comment section, if you guys know anywhere else that I didn't touch on that you can also look for foreclosures, make sure to put it down there, because it'll help out a ton of people who come through and view this video. I know that I didn't hit them on them all, so if there's any that you guys know of, make sure to put it down there to help somebody else. Thanks again so much for watching. Remember, with finding freedom, a happy mind is all you'll find. You guys make sure to have a great day, all right, people?